Hello everybody, I am Bucky Badger W, and today I will be giving you the Iowa Hawkeyes 2019 college football ratings. And as you can tell, I'm filming this video outside, and that is because I couldn't really get any privacy to film inside. So to start off these rankings, we are going to have Nate Stanley, right? Yeah, Nate Stanley, and I give him an 87. I think that he's a bit overrated as an NFL prospect and just as a college football quarterback. I've seen him multiple times. I think that he's pretty good. I don't think that he's great, though. I gave him an 87 overall. Last year, he had 2,852 passing yards, 26 touchdowns, 10 picks. I just haven't seen it yet with my eyes from him. And at backup, we have Peyton Mansell, 75, and Spencer Petras, 71. No comment there. At running back, we have Mekhi Sargent, 745 yards last year, 9 touchdowns on the ground, and 17 catches for 156 yards and a touchdown through the air. Really good season for him. I gave him an 87 overall. He was the best running back on the field last year. I think the stats speak for themselves. They have 4 really good returning running backs this year. Torrin Young, 85 overall. The stats are just a bit worse with him. And Ivory Kelly-Martin, 80. A bit of an explosive guy. Tyler Goodson, 73. Line up fullback, we have Brady Ross, 20 yards last year, no touchdowns. It's a pretty good fullback, 82 overall. And depth, Joe Ludwig, 76. At wide receiver, we have Ihmir Smith-Marsette, who had 9 rushes for 71 yards last year and 361 yards catching on 23 receptions. I believe, no, he didn't even come close to leading the team in receptions. And 3 touchdowns. And, there's a lot of production leaving from last season, so I didn't judge it based on the stats as much for Iowa receivers because TJ Hockenson and Noah Fant. We're taking a lot from them and Nick Easton. I mean, you could say that for every team, but I think it's even more so for Iowa. And then depth at that position, Brandon Smith, 85 overall, who had 28 catches for 361 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tyrone Tracy Jr., 77. Calvin Lockett, 75. Max Cooper, 73. Nico Reganey, 69 overall. Then at tight end, we have Nathan Whiting, 78 overall. Tight end, they lose a lot at this position. I don't think that they shouldn't be nearly as good as they were last year at that position. That's why I think that Stanley won't be as good. He won't have Hockenson and Fant to throw to, and those are big losses there. Whiting had 2 catches for 51 yards last year. Not a ton. And then Logan Lee, last year, he didn't accumulate any stats. In fact, I'm not sure, but he might be an incoming freshman. On the offensive line, 2 great offensive tackles, Alaric Jackson, 91, Tristan Wirfs, 89. They should just be very solid there at offensive tackle. In fact, they should be a lot better than solid at offensive tackle. They should be one of the best teams in the Big Ten, if not the best. We have Ezra Miller, Jack Plum, and Tyler Endress, all at 77. Just some depth at offensive tackle. Offensive guards, Landon Paulson, 81. Cole Banwart, 79. They shouldn't be nearly as good at offensive guard, but I think, offensive tackle, it's so good, and it's the most important position. I think it won't matter as much, and it's Iowa. They churn out offensive line talent. It should be pretty good. And then Cole Insay, Levi Paulson, Justin Britt, 74 overall. Or 77, 76, and 74 for those guys. At center, Tyler Linderbaum, 83. Jeff Jenkins, 79. So I think Iowa's offense should be worse than it was last year, and it wasn't great last year, so I don't know if that will be that great on offense, but they could be pretty good. And now flipping over to the defensive side of the ball, first guy that we have on defense is AJ Epinesa, 96 overall. He is very good. Didn't really even start last year. Still still had 10.5 sacks, pass defended, 4 forced fumbles, a fumble return for a touchdown, 16.5 tackles for loss, 37 tackles, ridiculous stats for a guy that really didn't play all that much. I think that with increased playing time, he should be ridiculous this year. 96, might be a little overrating him, but I don't really think that it is. 96 for AJ Epinesa. Chauncey Golston, 84 overall. He had 3.5 sacks last year, 9 tackles for loss, 35 tackles in total, a pick, 3 fumbles recovered. Pretty good defensive end. 84 overall. I think highly of this Iowa D line, or at least D ends. 97 or 77. What am I saying? 77 John Wagner. 76 Zan Van Valkenburg, and 73 Nathan Nelson. So pretty good DNs there for Iowa. They should be, other than AJ Epinesa, they probably have average to below average defensive ends, but they can compete for the best in the Big Ten with AJ Epinesa on. At D tackle, they have Cedric Lattimore, who had 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, and 21 tackles last year, 79 overall. And then Brady Reef, who last year had 12 total tackles, a sack and a tackle for loss, a 79 and a 78 overall. Their D tackles shouldn't be great. Austin Schulte, 74, and Davion Nixon, 71. But I think they have a nose tackle at Iowa, don't they? Yeah, I was looking at that, and I am pretty sure that Iowa has a nose tackle just like Wisconsin does. And at outside linebacker, they do have the buck position, or the whatever it's called. I think it's called like buck or money, something like that. At Iowa, yeah, I think it's called buck. And Michael Ojemudia plays that, but I listed him as a cornerback for this specific video. So just keep that in mind. Dejamon Colbert, I think that's how you say it. 52 tackles, 1 tackle for loss last year. Pretty good production. I just haven't heard his name a ton, so I put him at 79. Justin Jacobs, 78. Nothing on him right now. Amani Jones, 76 overall last year, 22 tackles, two tackles for loss, and a sack. Maybe that should be higher. I don't know. DJ Johnson, 75. Jack Campbell, 74. Barrington Wade, 73. That's the outside linebackers. Inside linebackers, this should be pretty good. 49 tackles for loss 49 tackles. 49 tackles for loss would be ridiculous. 49 tackles, 1.5 tackles for loss, 1.5 sacks, a pick, forced fumble, pass defended, recovered fumble. Doing it all, Christian Welch, last year 86 overall, do it all inside linebacker. I think that he should be really good. And then the only other inside linebacker that they have listed at OurLads.com is Nick Niemann. And Nick Niemann, I have him as an 84 overall, 43 tackles, 2.5 tackles for loss, and a sack last year. Just a little worse production than Christian Welch last year, and that's why he is just a little worse overall. Now, I believe, the second best player on this defense, and one of the best players on this team. I have him as the third best player on this team. Michael Ojemudia, the buck position, 89 overall. I think that he's really good. 39 tackles last year, a tackle for loss, 3 picks, 6 passes defended, no fumbles. But yeah, just great production, and when you watch him, he's really good. And I don't quite know what the draft talks are on him. but I think that he could actually be a pretty good draft prospect. Matt Hankins, 81 overall. That's second corner. 48 tackles last year, 3 passes defended. Pretty much what you want out of your second cornerback. 81 overall. Riley Moss, who is a 79 overall. 24 tackles last year, 2 picks, 3 passes defended. Maybe a little underrated there. Julius Brents, 77 overall. 13 total tackles last year. 13 total tackles last year, 1 pick, 3 passes defended. No, actually, I'm going to move that up to a 78. Terry Roberts, 73, and Deron McKinney are really, the depth. 73 and 71 overall for those guys. I don't know if I said that already. John Milani, 9 tackles, nothing else to show last year. Wasn't that great. 75 overall is the best that I could give him. Kayvon Merriweather. I think that he's a recruit. I don't have anything on him right now. And Geno Stone, who I have as an 85 overall. Should be pretty good for them. He last year had 39 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 4 picks, fumble forced, and 3 passes defended. He's very good at that strong safety position, and Iowa should need Michael Ojemudia and him to Geno Stone to really be to have the dominant defense that they're looking for. Iowa this year they should have probably a bit above average offense, but nothing that special from their offense. They're going to need their defense, I think. And then Devontae Young at a 72 overall for depth. And then the kicker, Caleb Shudak, 78. Punter, Colston Rastetter. Yeah, Rastetter. 79. And Michael Sweep Dalton, 77. Depth at the punter. But, Kirk Ferentz should have this Iowa team looking probably top 20 again. Their roster says to me probably top 25. But when you add everything together that they have at Iowa, probably another top 20 performance. They shouldn't be anything like the 12-0 team that they had, but they should be really good. And that's all I have for you today. If you disagreed with me, hopefully you didn't. Probably did. Then comment what you disagreed with, like the video, and subscribe if you liked it. And until next time, it's Bucky Badger W saying peace out.